I believe that all jobs in every industry, in every workplace, are going to be touched and affected by AI. What does that look like? How exactly will that play out? We're going to talk about how AI will touch, augment, fully replace, and even make redundant billions of jobs. Welcome back if you've been here before. If not, I'm Julie McCoy. I used to run a human writing agency, and today I work full-time in AI after selling my writing agency when times were good and being one of the first to jump into the AI writing landscape back in early 2023, even though I was known as the anti-AI writer for a short period of time. But it was when I found a multi-tool stack, more than one LLM, and proprietary built-in real-time search tools. That's when I saw the possibility. Now I get to serve as the president and build our company with an intelligent group of people. I upskilled, changed my job role completely because of what I saw coming in AI. And I'm here sharing how you can do the same. Take advantage of the opportunity in front of us. If you're new to my channel, I recommend watching my video on AGI versus ANI. If you've already watched it, then you have some context on why I think artificial narrow intelligence, aka ANI, has almost everything we need to see in order for AI to automate billions of jobs before we even reach AGI. And that's wild, because what's coming with artificial general intelligence and beyond that, artificial superintelligence is going to be very hard to wrap our minds around. And my belief is that whenever we enter the age in which we have autonomous AI and even superintelligence, that we will enter the greatest age humanity has ever seen, the age of abundance, the age of plenitude. But to get there, we're going to have to overcome some giant hurdles. This is what we talk about on my channel. If you're a critical thinker, you're not afraid to go deep, then welcome, my friend. You're going to like it here. All right, so on to our topic, why AI will be taking billions of jobs. I believe we're going to see this unfold in the next 5 years. Now, you know, in most of my videos, I share with you what's on my book stack. I am reading these 3 books. They're all absolutely amazing. This one is 1,000 Brains by Jeff Hawkins. He was one of the early pioneers of handheld computing, starting back with the Palm devices. He has studied the neocortex and the human brain and is a pioneer in neural nets and how AGI will replicate some of our brain processes. The Fourth Age by Byron Reese was actually a recommendation from one of you in the YouTube comments. I'm going to quote from it for some of this video, an amazing book with some super valid, well thought out insights. And this is a book that I cannot recommend enough by Mustafa Suleyman. It's called The Coming Wave. This man founded DeepMind, which sold to Google. It is one of the leading machine learning inventions out there. Mustafa is behind all of the inner workings at DeepMind. Google is really lucky to have him and his expertise on board. If I were to group the AI innovators of the century in a small handful, he would be in that group. The book, The Fourth Age, actually has a chapter 9, called Will Robots Take All Our Jobs? Before I quote from that chapter, I'm going to reference some studies. Back in 2017, McKinsey published this eye-opening study on workforce transitions in an age of automation. This was back in 2017, way before ChatGPT, GPT-3, 4.0, Claude Sonnet, and all these incredible week-to-week advances in multimodal AI even started hitting the human race. So back in 2017, we knew that over 50% of all the work that humans do in the workplace is actually automatable, and that's what this study revealed. In fact, it laid out how 6 out of 10 occupations have activities that are technically automatable. And back in 2017, this study predicted that AI will displace 800 million jobs, which is 30% of the entire workforce. And we're going to see this happen, the report predicted, by 2030. It's 2024. We're just 6 short years away from this. It's wild that back in 2017, we knew that over 60% of the activities we do at work can be automated. And if you watch my other videos about the age of abundance and the age of plenitude that I believe we are living on the brink of, this is almost a ticket to give us permission to step into that new age. Should we be sitting around working our tails off silently at some job we don't even like? Is that really what we're meant to do in life? Or are we meant to discover our passion, find out what we were born to do, and spend more time just being? because we aren't a human doing after all, we're a human being. And if this much of our work can be automated, is it even work that truly brings meaning? We know that over 70% of the workforce is only working because they have to pay their bills. They don't love their work. And in fact, there's a high rate of depression, higher than it's ever been among these people at work. We have got to get back to finding our meaning, and I believe that job automation could actually help us do just that. Now, you might say, but Julia, the McKinsey study only predicted 6 out of 10 jobs being up for 30% or more automation. All right, so hold tight, because I'm about to show you and potentially blow your mind that total automation of almost every job is possible. But hold tight, don't worry, you're still going to be able to live in an age of incredible opportunity. And yes, there's still the opportunity to make boatloads of money if you upskill and you adapt to the new age. The window for this is closing. We are entering an era where we are going to see the economy as we know it completely collapse and a new one get rebuilt on potentially entirely new currency. But hold on, that's for another video. Coming up, I'm going to tell you about a dividends-based type of stewardship that I believe is the best of all worlds when it comes to UBI, Universal Basic Income, UBC, Universal Basic Compute, an idea raised by Sam Altman, and even UHI, Universal High Income, which is another idea raised by Elon Musk. All right, so why will all jobs potentially be automated? Keep in mind, that's a good thing, and keep in mind there's still a huge opportunity window for you to jump through right now where you can take advantage of this age. There was a study that came out that never made the news. In fact, I only learned about it because a leading AI expert that I had followed and had invited to speak at one of my events actually reached out and DM'd me the PDF link. That's the only reason I knew about it. But quite honestly, this study should have made world news headlines. It was, to date, the largest AI study ever done, with more than 2,700 AI researchers looking at the landscape of how AI would affect every job. People from Berkeley, the brightest minds from England at the University of Oxford, and many more got together to produce this study, which was 39 pages long. And what they predicted after in-depth research on every field and every job was that full automation of all jobs, whether it was driving a truck or writing a New York Times bestseller, every job would be automated somewhere in the 2100s. Now, you've heard me say this before if you're a repeat viewer, but I believe that prediction is way off, and we're going to see this happen a lot sooner. Why? Well, just cross-reference what's been happening week to week in the 2020s with the breakthroughs we've had in computing and AI itself. With more compute power comes more AI capabilities, and it's really just been a 2 + 2, boom, boom, boom. This chart from ARK Invest, which you've seen me share before, really puts this into perspective. When GPT-3 was announced in 2020, they thought, AI experts, that it would be another 50 years till we would see the next breakthrough. Guess what? 3 years later, GPT-4 was built and ready to launch. That's a far cry from 50 years. So we are seeing acceleration unlike any other technology at any other point in humanity's history. And that's why I believe the automation of jobs will happen much sooner than anyone is anticipating, simply because of the breakthrough of what AI can do. All right, so we've looked at some data. I want to pull in what some futurist technologists and actual AI inventors, founding geniuses are saying from the forefront of this industry. Elon Musk says that AI will get to a point where no job is needed. Alex Hood, a chief product officer at Asana, said that half the time we spend at work is unproductive because we're working on what he calls work about work. It's the status updates, the spreadsheets, the work about work, just to keep others in the loop. And he says if this can be reduced because of AI, oh, that's an awesome thing. Asana talks about human-centered AI, where humans partner with AI to produce the best outcome. This goes hand in hand with our AIO approach in the AI company I work at, where we see the human as the optimizer of the AI machine, driving it successfully to the end goal. One of the most notable leaders of this age of AI is Jensen Ho himself, the CEO and founder of NVIDIA, the company behind the computing power that fuels ChatGPT itself and so many other AI breakthroughs. I want you to listen carefully to this clip from his talk this year at the World Government Summit. He was on stage for about 30 minutes, and this is arguably the most important points that he dropped on stage. And listen to all of it carefully, because at first he references how we used to say at the beginning of this age of AI, just a few short years ago, that the best field of study for our kids would be coding. Well, on stage at the World Government Summit, Jensen completely debunked this because he believes that AI will be so good, it will be doing all the programming and all the coding for us. And he said that nobody should have to learn to program if AI rolls out the way he thinks it will. So listen to this clip.
You probably recall, over the course of the last 10 years, 15 years, almost everybody who sits on a stage like this would tell you it is vital that your children learn computer science. Everybody should learn how to program. And in fact, it's almost exactly the opposite. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program, and that the programming language is human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence. For the very first time, we have closed the gap. The technology divide has been completely closed. And it's the reason why so many people can engage artificial intelligence. It is the reason why every single government, every single industrial conference, every single company is talking about artificial intelligence today. Because for the very first time, you can imagine everybody in your company being a technologist. And so this is a tremendous time for all of you to realize that the technology divide has been closed. Or another way to say it, the technology leadership of other countries has now been reset. The countries, the people that understand how to solve a domain problem in digital biology or in education of young people or in manufacturing or in farming, those people who understand domain expertise now can utilize technology that is readily available to you. You now have a computer that will do what you tell it to do, to help automate your work, to amplify your productivity, to make you more efficient. And so I think that this is just a tremendous time. The impact, of course, is great, and your imperative to activate and take advantage of the technology is absolutely immediate. And also to realize that to engage AI is a lot easier now than at any time in the history of computing. It is vital that we upskill everyone, and the upskilling process, I believe, will be delightful, surprising, to realize that this computer can perform all these things that you're instructing it to do and doing it so easily.
Notice there that he says it's vital we upskill everyone. This is something I 100% agree with, and this is the point I would end on. Both the World Economic Forum and books like The Fourth Age talk about how AI will bring us into an era of completely new jobs, some of which we can't even imagine right now. In fact, listen to this fact from The Fourth Age. In many industries and countries, the most in-demand occupations or specialties did not exist 10 or even 5 years ago, and the pace of change is set to accelerate. By one popular estimate, 65% of children entering primary school today will ultimately end up working in completely new job types that don't yet exist. The Fourth Age, in its chapter on Will Robots Take All of Our Jobs, does a great job portraying some of the problems that would still exist even if we had AGI. And like the scenario in Will Smith's iRobot, 1 humanoid to every 5 humans on Earth. Let's say that happened. Well, there's still problems we would face that AGI can't solve on its own without a human. The best we can do is predict the new jobs that will be coming our way and get ready, upskill, be prepared for them. And that's why I'm so thrilled to share with you that my 10th book is coming out this November called Upskill, Become AI Proof, co-written with my good friend and our AI and media director, Joyce. In this book, we're interviewing over 15 industry experts, including people like the world-leading expert on UBI, Scott Stanton's, and many people at the top of their industry that are adapting to AI in their companies and teams successfully. And we're asking them, what do you see policy for the future of people at work. Their insights, which are completely original, exclusive to our interviews, are going into this book. And then it's my thoughts, Jeff's thoughts on the future and how we can get ready. Our best educated guesses are better than staying in a zone of comfort that could put you up for complete elimination when that functionality, that job gets completely automated. So definitely check out the book. It's out now on Amazon for pre-order this November. And when it launches, it'll be available in all formats. No matter what, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. You know what to do. Subscribe, smash that like button. If you learned or got anything from this video, I am in awe of the smart people that find my videos and watch them on the regular. If that's you, drop a comment. Let's meet, let's chat. I read every comment. I may not be able to respond to all of them, but I try my best. And as always, I look forward to seeing you down the next AI rabbit hole.